More than 3,000 flags decorate the lawn in front of the Kentucky State Capitol. A huge visual reminder of the virus we're fighting after the deadliest day of the pandemic so far in the state.
Let's commit when we're done with this to being better people.
All of this puts more pressure on our current doctors and our future doctors to get the vaccine rollout right.
I've worked all 3 zones today. I'm helping with vaccine distribution.
This is our community, and we are all part of Team Kentucky.
Washington is talking impeachment of former President Trump, and now those same words are making their way to Frankfurt. Grand jurors in the Breonna Taylor case say they want AG Daniel Cameron out of office.
He stated that everything was presented to the grand jurors. We know for a fact that's a lie.
It's a beautiful day and I can't stop myself from smiling.
And if you love American champions or gender equality, or if your dog loves Frisbees as much as mine, January 23rd is a big day. Our Fast Facts today are taking a look back on all the things that have happened on this day in history.
It's a beautiful day.
Good morning, friends. Thanks for waking up with us on this Saturday morning. We're going to find out just how beautiful the day is going to be weather-wise here from Alden here in just a few seconds. Might help you out with the plans you're making for the weekend, and that's what I want to know from you this morning. What are you up to this weekend? I don't know. Sometimes it's just nice to know what the world is up to, that it keeps spinning. We've all got things going on in our lives, and we've heard from quite a few of you so far, gotten some good pictures and some GIFs that are pretty rad too. So anyway, let me know what you're up to this weekend, and if you got any plans that might be interesting to the group. My number is 502-582-7290. Text me, tell me who you are, where you're from, and if you got a picture, include that too. That's even better. And so, Alden, I've been paying attention to the little jingle ahead of your forecast for a little teaser, and I saw sunshine. I'm going to hope that's a good sign, right?
So you pay attention to the jingle before the forecast, but you don't actually pay attention to my
forecast. I can take or leave you, but the jingle is how I get my forecast.
Oh, Rob. Wow. And to think, I thought it was going to be a good day. Maybe not after all. It is going to be sunny this afternoon. It's sunny right now. Beautiful shot out of French Lake. I wish you could have seen this earlier when the sun was actually rising in the frame. Looked absolutely beautiful out there. Just a bit cold. Temperatures are in the low 20s right now. We bottomed out at 20 degrees for our overnight low temperature, but look at these wind chills. In the teens, the low teens at that. It feels like 11 at Bowman Field. It feels like 13 at Lou International. East-northeast breeze at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, so it really does feel pretty cold out there. Low 20s south of the river, upper teens north of the river, so it is a cold start to our day. It's going to be a bit chilly this afternoon as well. High temperatures in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. And although we're going to be sunny all day, we will start to see clouds increasing later this evening and overnight. That's ahead of a freezing rain event later tonight and through tomorrow morning. We could see some minor ice accumulations, which could make the roads pretty slick as well. So keep that in mind if you're driving anywhere tomorrow morning. I'll let you know how much ice accumulation we could see and go into detail about Monday's soaking rain. Rob.
All right, Alden, thank you. We just learned in the past hour the talk show host Larry King has died at age 87. He was hospitalized for COVID on January 2nd, and he had battled several health challenges leading up to that point. 3,337 people in Kentucky have died from COVID-19, and now there's a memorial at the state capitol to honor those people. Governor Beshear, the state's first lady, and Lieutenant Governor Coleman placed more than 3,000 flags across the lawn, each one representing a person in Kentucky who's died from COVID.
That's 3,000 families, 3,000 loved ones, 3,000 unimaginable tragedies, leading to grief that will likely never subside.
So to give more perspective on this, we want to take a look at where we are now compared to the start of the pandemic. This is a look at how many new deaths were reported each day in Kentucky. So just this past week, all the way over here on Thursday, the state announced the highest number of new deaths in a single day, with 58 people. And you can see that for Kentucky, it's been basically a slow build up to this point since the start of the pandemic. Now compare this to the Indiana graph, where currently we're actually seeing death numbers falling over the past month. That's because Indiana had its highest number of COVID deaths reported in a single day on December 11th right here. The state reported that 97 people died that day. But since then, the number of people who have died from COVID has started to decline. Now, of course, a big factor in slowing cases and deaths is the vaccine and the vaccine rollout. And yesterday, it was Kentucky teachers' turn to get those shots. So Oldham County actually suspended vaccinations for people 70 and older to give priority to teachers. The county is running low on doses, so they're focusing on teachers for the next 2 weeks.
We've got our kids back in school, but we need them to stay there. And this isn't the end. This isn't the end of masks. This isn't the end of social distancing. This isn't the end of the mitigation strategies that we have in place. But it's a start, and it's hope.
JCPS teachers also started getting vaccinated yesterday at Broadbent Arena. 1,200 of them got their shots, and the health department plans to vaccinate 7,000 more next week.
I think it's a great sign for our students, staff, and families to see that we are doing everything we can to get their children back in our school buildings.
Kentucky is one of only 19 states that's vaccinating school staff right now. All Louisville teachers who want to have a vaccine should have the opportunity to get one by the first week in February. Now, the mass vaccination site would not be possible without volunteers. Rose is out at the Expo Center this morning to tell us more about a special group of volunteers who are using this, Rose, not only to help the community, but to get some real-world experience for their future job.
That's exactly right, Rob. There have been about 1,100 volunteers logging over 10,000 hours here at the Broadbent Arena, and a number of those volunteers are U of L students in the medical school, the School of Public Health, the School of Nursing, and not only are they helping people, but they're also getting some good experience they're going to be taking into their future careers.
A lot of faculty and students that are out here really showing that Cardinals care.
Amanda Beering is a fourth-year medical student at U of L. When she heard Broadbent Arena needed volunteers to help with vaccine distribution, like many other students, she wanted to help in any way she could.
This is our community, and we are all part of Team Kentucky.
Now, she typically spends 11 hours a day, 4 or more days a week at Louisville's mass vaccination site. She's a volunteer team lead and a supervisor of the other med students. Volunteering has given her a hands-on experience in the field.
It's been a great review for some of the things that we cover early in our medical school career as far as immunology and virology.
So I've worked all 3 zones. Today I'm helping with vaccine distribution.
Josh Stewart is also a med student at U of L in his second year.
We haven't got to do a lot of clinical work, due to COVID, and so I thought this was a great way to get out of the house, make a difference, and help get my community protected.
Beering and Stewart perform a number of duties, but perhaps one of the most important is protecting the vaccine, making sure it's handled in a way that's safe to make sure it's effective.
It is a very unique thing to be involved in, and at least I'm thankful for that.
Even with their school schedules, these future doctors are doing what doctors do, supporting the health and wellness of those around them.
There was a lot of really great learning opportunities and opportunities to pitch in and help out in whatever way I can.
And in talking to Stewart, who's still pretty early on in his med school journey, he said even little things like talking to people and screening them, making them feel comfortable before they get their shot is going to prepare him to talk to patients in the future. It's really a chance for these students to get away from the textbooks and out into the field to prepare for their careers, Rob.
Yeah, so great to get that real-world experience. But Rose, you were telling us earlier that, obviously this is a great opportunity for people going into the medical field, but they're looking for volunteers with all kinds of talents out there.
Exactly. And one of the volunteers who was recognized yesterday is actually a crossing guard with JCPS, but she hasn't been working because schools haven't been open. So she's taken her talents here to the Broadbent Arena and been directing traffic of these people coming in and out getting their shots.
A huge need out at that spot with all kinds of people coming in and out. Hey, Rose, thanks for sharing that.
Sometimes I get a good feeling.
You've got to play desperate in basketball.
It's going to be a dogfight.
Okay, so do both Cards and Cats fans dare to have a good feeling today? Well, as they square up to take on Duke and LSU, Ken Spencer's saying maybe so. But I know someone who for sure has a good feeling this morning, our country's newest billionaire. That's right, Mega Millions has a new winner, and we know where they're from coming up.
Unfortunately, it was not me. Here's a look at your new lotto jackpots, both of them down to a measly $20 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, providing over $3.8 billion in grants and scholarships.